The young and the restless spoilers the tides of betrayal and passion in the turbulent world of love, secrets, and redemption. Every day brings new alliances and betrayals. Nowhere is this more evident than in the unfolding saga between Summer, Kyle, Allie, and Claire, a story where loyalties are shifting and hidden truths threaten to upend lives. As the community rallies behind Summer and Kyle, emboldening their bond with ever-growing support, the stakes are raised higher than ever before. But in the shadows, ancient ties and buried secrets are awakening, ready to ignite a chain reaction that could change everything. A new dawn of support. Summer's love for Kyle had blossomed into a beacon of hope amid the chaos of their intertwined lives. With each passing day, more voices joined the chorus in favor of their union. The community's support was palpable. Neighbors, friends, and even distant acquaintances whispered words of encouragement and admiration. This growing momentum gave Summer the strength to believe that her decision was not only right but inevitable. Every compliment, every nod of approval, reinforced her conviction that she and Kyle were destined for a future free from past burdens. It was during one quiet evening, as Summer sat by a rain-speckled window and let her thoughts wander toward the promising horizon, that her world was suddenly shaken by an unexpected phone call. The screen lit up with an unfamiliar number, and the moment she answered, a determined voice filled the silence. The call from the past. Summer, this is Allie, the voice declared, tinged with urgency and resolve. Allie, who was not just any ordinary person but Kyle's granddaughter, brought with her a revelation that would shatter old alliances. I have uncovered secrets, dark, painful truths about Claire, that I believe can change everything. I'm telling you now. I will defeat her, because I know things about her and her connections that could unravel her carefully constructed world. The weight of Allie's words hit Summer like a tidal wave. Allie's confession carried the promise of liberation, a chance to free Kyle from the lingering chains of a love tainted by deception. For Summer, the message was clear. The battle against Claire was not just hers to fight but was one that her family and community would wage together. The reunion of old acquaintances. As the gravity of the situation deepened, another twist of fate emerged. Allie's revelations were not entirely new to Claire. In a dramatic turn, it was revealed that Claire and Allie had once shared a close, albeit complicated, relationship during their days in Los Angeles. The familiarity of their past added a layer of complexity to the present conflict. In a bid to salvage what remained of her crumbling power, Claire sought out Allie, hoping to turn back the clock and keep her dangerous secrets hidden. In a dimly lit corner of an upscale LA cafe, a place that held memories of both laughter and betrayal, Claire and Allie faced each other for the first time in years. The air was heavy with unspoken history, and every glance exchanged spoke volumes of the secrets they both harbored. Allie, Claire began softly, her voice laden with desperation, you must understand. These secrets aren't just idle gossip, they are the remnants of our past, the very fabric of who we are. Please, I beg you, keep them hidden. Think of what might be lost if the truth comes out. But Allie's resolve had hardened over time. Having seen the destructive power of hidden truths and the personal cost of loyalty misplaced, she responded firmly, Claire, I can't let Kyle suffer any longer. He deserves a life free from the chains of this toxic entanglement. Your secrets, no matter how closely you cling to them, cannot justify the damage they cause. I'm doing this for him, for all of us. Summer's triumph and the rise of confidence back home. Summer absorbed every detail of these revelations with a mix of relief and exhilaration. The evidence of betrayal was mounting, and with every confirmed secret, her belief in the righteousness of her decision grew stronger. The support that had blossomed around her and Kyle now felt like an impenetrable shield against the past, a force that would eventually overwhelm the destructive legacy Claire was desperate to maintain. The whispers of victory reached Summer's ears in countless forms, a colleague's sympathetic remark, a friend's encouraging smile, and even the supportive messages from strangers who had followed their story from afar. In every note of encouragement, she heard the promise of a future where Kyle could live unburdened by the ghosts of his past. This was a future where love and truth would triumph over lies and deceit. The monster within, Claire's descent. Yet, as Summer's confidence soared, so too did the fury within Claire. With her secrets laid bare and her influence waning, Claire found herself backed into a corner. The gentle facade she had long maintained was giving way to a darker, more volatile nature, one that was capable of monstrous deeds. The transformation was palpable. Every decision, every whispered threat in shadowy corridors, hinted at an impending eruption of violence. Late one night, in a secluded alley illuminated only by a flickering street lamp, Claire's desperation reached its zenith. Alone and consumed by anger, she confronted Allie once more, a final meeting that bore the stench of impending doom. "I warned you, Allie," Claire hissed, her voice trembling with a mixture of wrath and fear. "You have no idea what you're tampering with. Kyle's future, your life, even the lives of those who stand by me, are all at risk if you continue to defy me. This isn't a petty squabble, it's war, and I will not hesitate to crush anyone who stands in my way." Allie's eyes flashed with unyielding determination as she stepped forward, her tone steady and resolute. "Kyle is my family, and I will protect him at any cost. Your threats, your lies, they end now. I'm done living in the shadow of your cruelty. If that means standing up to you, then I will do so without fear." The words hung in the cold night air, a declaration of war that promised to shatter the remnants of Claire's power. In that moment, it became clear that the battle was no longer just about hidden secrets or past mistakes, it was a struggle for the very soul of each individual involved. The uncertain road ahead in the days that followed, the tension within their community was palpable. Every secret revealed, every alliance formed, deepened the rift between those who sought a future defined by honesty and those who clung desperately to the ruins of a bygone era. Summer, buoyed by the increasing support from friends and strangers alike, remained steadfast in her belief that a brighter future awaited her and Kyle. The promise of a life untainted by the poison of past deceptions was a vision she could almost reach. Yet, beneath the surface of this hopeful narrative, the storm brewed relentlessly. Claire, feeling the pressure of impending exposure and the threat of total ruin, was slowly being transformed into a figure of unchecked fury. A woman so desperate and cornered that she appeared ready to unleash a fury capable of obliterating anyone who dared stand in her path. Rumors swirled of secret meetings in abandoned warehouses and whispered threats that sent chills down the spines of those who once admired her. The monstrous aspect of her personality, once hidden behind a veneer of sophistication and control, was now emerging with dangerous clarity. The community, caught in the crossfire of these high-stakes battles, braced itself for the worst. Every conversation, every glance shared in hushed tones, reflected the collective fear of what might happen if Claire's monstrous side were to be fully unleashed. And yet, amidst the fear and uncertainty, a flicker of hope persisted, a belief that truth and love could eventually conquer even the darkest of hearts. The final confrontation. As the climax of this intricate drama loomed on the horizon, it became evident that the final confrontation between Summer, Allie, and Claire was inevitable. In a decisive meeting arranged in the grandeur of an old, repurposed theater, a symbol of both faded glory and new beginnings, the key players gathered to face their destinies head-on. The setting was dramatic, with the echoes of past performances mingling with the charged atmosphere of the present conflict. Summer and Kyle stood side by side, the warmth of their shared resolve radiating like a beacon against the encroaching darkness. Allie, armed with the unassailable truth of her discoveries, maintained a steely calm despite the palpable tension. And then there was Claire, once the epitome of controlled elegance, now a tempest of barely restrained fury, her eyes glinting with the promise of retribution. The air in the theater was thick with anticipation as Claire made her final plea. "I implore you both," she said, her voice cracking with a mix of desperation and menace, "do not let these secrets destroy us. I have sacrificed so much to protect what remains of my power, and I will not allow you to tear it all down with your naive ideals." But Allie, her voice unwavering and resolute, shot back, "Your sacrifices are built on lies and manipulation, Claire. Kyle deserves a future that is free from the shadow of your deceit. I stand for a future where truth prevails, even if it means facing the darkness you represent." In that charged moment, as the characters stood on the precipice of irrevocable change, the truth was laid bare. The struggle was no longer simply about love or loyalty, it was about the very essence of who they wished to become. For Summer and Kyle, the path forward was one illuminated by the promise of a life unshackled by secrets. For Allie, it was a duty to protect her family and uphold the integrity of their future. And for Claire, it was a desperate, final bid to reclaim a semblance of control, even if it meant embracing the monstrous side that lurked within her. Epilogue: a future reclaimed or lost? As the night drew to a close and the echoes of that fateful confrontation faded into the silence of a new dawn, the community was left to ponder the cost of truth and the price of love. Summer's unwavering optimism and the collective support of those around her hinted at the possibility of healing and renewal. Kyle's future, once obscured by the toxic remnants of the past, now shone with the promise of liberation. And Allie, standing resolute at the front lines, embodied the hope that even in the darkest of times, the light of truth could pierce through the shadows. Yet, in the recesses of the city, the threat of Claire's unresolved fury remained. Had she truly been vanquished, or was she merely biding her time, waiting for the moment when her monstrous instincts would re-emerge to exact a final, ruthless revenge? Only time would tell if the sacrifices made in the name of love and truth would ultimately lead to redemption or irreversible ruin. For now, however, the narrative had reached a delicate balance. The battle between past and future, between deceit and honesty, had set the stage for a new chapter, one where every whispered secret, every heartfelt confession, and every act of defiance would play a part in shaping destinies. In the interplay of light and darkness, Summer, Kyle, and Allie had become symbols of hope for a future unburdened by the chains of old betrayals. Their story, fraught with passion and peril, served as a stark reminder that in the pursuit of love and truth, sometimes the most courageous act is to confront the monsters within, and to let the light of redemption shine through, no matter how deep the shadows may be. Thus, in the grand tapestry of their intertwined lives, the seeds of change were sown. The world was watching, hearts were beating with anticipation, and every soul who believed in the power of love and the necessity of truth awaited the final act, a reckoning that would determine whether the monster in the shadows would finally be vanquished or if its terrifying legacy would haunt them all forever. The reckoning of Claire, a battle of secrets and survival. The air in Genoa City was thick with tension, the kind that settles before a storm so fierce it promises to change the landscape forever. At the center of the storm stood Claire, cunning, desperate, and cornered. She had spent so much time weaving an intricate web of lies, deception, and manipulation that she never thought she would be the one ensnared. But now, as Allie Gwyn, Kyle's formidable granddaughter, took a stand against her, Claire knew the battle had reached its climax. There was no more room to maneuver, no more places to hide. Claire's monstrous revelation. Allie had always known that Claire was dangerous, but nothing could have prepared her for what she had just heard. Claire stood before her, eyes dark with rage, her voice as chilling as a winter wind. "I will kill anyone who stands in my way," Claire declared, her tone steady, almost eerily calm. Allie's breath caught for a moment, but fear was not an emotion she entertained easily. Instead, she tilted her head, watching Claire with a mix of defiance and curiosity. "Wow," Allie mused. "So, you're finally done pretending? No more sweet and innocent act? No more poor Claire routine? You're just going to embrace your inner monster, then?" Claire's jaw clenched. "You have no idea what I'm capable of, Allie." Allie took a bold step closer, refusing to be intimidated. "Oh, I think I have a pretty good idea. And I'm going to make sure everyone else does, too." The unmasking of Claire. For years, Claire had carefully built a persona of charm, mystery, and vulnerability. She had played the victim when it suited her, the seductress when it benefited her, and the mastermind when it was necessary. But now, in front of Allie, she was simply Claire, the desperate woman who was losing control. Allie had the one thing Claire feared most, the truth. "I know everything," Allie continued, her voice unwavering. "The lies, the manipulations, the threats. You think you can just walk around Genoa City, fooling everyone? That time is up. I will make sure Kyle and Summer, and everyone else, know exactly who you are." Claire let out a sharp laugh, though there was no humor in it. "You really think they'll listen to you?" Allie smirked. "Oh, I don't think. I know. People are already turning against you. Summer is more confident than ever. Kyle is starting to see through your nonsense, and now that I'm here? You're done. Claire's fingers curled into fists. The walls were closing in, and she knew it. Her only options were to fight or flee. And Claire was not one to run, at least, not without causing damage first. Kyle and Summer, a love story in the balance. Meanwhile, across town, Kyle and Summer were caught in a whirlwind of emotions. The world around them had been shifting so rapidly that neither of them had a moment to breathe. The question of their happiness loomed like a specter over their every interaction. "Do you think we'll be okay?" Summer asked one evening, her voice barely above a whisper as she leaned against Kyle's chest. Kyle sighed, pressing a kiss to her hair. "I want to believe that, Summer. But with Claire still in our lives, it feels like we're constantly under attack." Summer's eyes flashed with determination. "Not for long." Kyle looked at her, brow furrowing. "What do you mean?" "Allie," Summer replied with a confident smile. "She's about to take Claire down." Claire's last stand back in the shadows of Genoa City, Claire knew she had to make a choice. With Allie breathing down her neck, with Kyle and Summer gaining momentum, there was only one logical step to take: she had to leave. Genoa City had turned against her. The once subtle whispers of doubt had grown into outright accusations. Claire had manipulated, schemed, and clawed her way into Kyle's life, but now it was slipping through her fingers like sand in the wind. Staying meant certain defeat. Staying meant the humiliation of being exposed. And Claire was not a woman who tolerated defeat. But if she left, she would not leave quietly. Allie had declared war, and Claire had never been one to walk away from a fight. There were still ways to turn the tide, still cards left to play. She could regroup, reassess, and come back stronger than ever. Or, she could unleash the chaos now and make sure that if she went down, she wouldn't go alone.